Hello everyone, welcome to our show today. Appreciate you coming by. We're going to do something a little bit different today that we haven't done in a long time. Come over to the board and I'll show you what we've done and what we plan on trying to do today. Hope you're painting with us. Come over and I'll show you. We've got a little bit of sketch here. Some of it's gone, but we'll just sort of make it up as we go anyhow. But anyhow, this is something that we haven't done in a while, and it's dried flowers. So we're going to attempt to do a real nice pretty painting with dried flowers today. Okay, the first thing we'll start with is we've got a vase here, so we might put the vase in first. I think what we'll do is make it sort of a whitish gray vase, or vase, whichever you want to call it. It's a vase to me. Okay, I'm going to put a little white right there. I'm going to add just a little Payne's gray to it. And I'm going to tint it with just a touch of blue. And a touch of crimson. That's probably too much. Let me get rid of a little of that. Yeah. I'm going to add a little more blue. I don't like quite that color. Trying to get a bluish cast to it. That's about what we want right there. Let's put a little of that on there and see how it looks. We'll start out with this little brush here. I'm going to get the oil out of it. And I'm going to fill the brush up pretty full. Now, you may not can see this on TV, but I've sort of got a little line here to go by. So I'm going to go ahead and sort of pull that in there. And then later on, if we need to, we can come back and change it. Now I'm going to go ahead and just mix the bottom of it here. Sort of that way. Now a lot of this probably will not show. I'm going to mix up a little bit darker color. In order to do that, I'm going to get a little of this darker blue. That's a little too dark, so grab a little of that light, put in it. And I want just a touch of crimson in that. A little more. Yeah, about that much. Let's start with that. Now I'm not sure which way the shadow is on this little thing. We'll make it up as we go, okay? I'm pulling that bottom again. Now I'm going to go up here and add a little bit of shadow. And I'm picking up just straight Payne's gray. And I'm just sort of blending it a little bit. We'll come back and work with this a little bit more. But I wanted to get this area right in here because most all of that's going to be covered up in there, so we won't worry about it right now. Let's see, I want a little bit more of that alizarin crimson. Now that's, on the surface, looks too dark, and it's pretty dark, but we're going to blend it in a little bit. Okay, that's probably enough on that. Now I'm going to go up and we'll start building our little dried flowers. Now some of these little things, I'm not exactly sure what they are, but we're just going to start putting just a few of them in, and then we'll come back later. Now I don't know exactly what all of these little dried things are, but we'll put them on there and then come back later and figure out what they are. Now this little thing down here, it probably won't be red when we get through, but we'll just go ahead and sort of coat him in a little bit. Okie dokie. Now, what I want to do is put some different colored, great big, I don't know if these are sunflowers or what they are, but they're dried flowers. I want to put a little brown. Let's get right here. And I want a little bit of red in that. A little more red, I think. Okay, now I like that color, but I'm going to add just a touch of yellow. Now we'll start with that. Now I've got red in my brush. Okay, let's make this one a brownish color. Now we'll probably shadow that a little bit more. Let's try a little bit of alizarin crimson. Oh yeah. But we're also going to highlight that. I want a little dark brown. Yeah, right on the edge there. Now I'm going to go ahead and just highlight it just a little bit. So I'm going to clean that brush out. I've got a lot of brushes here, but that's the particular one that I'm going to use. I'm just going straight into the yellow. Okay. Now let's do another color. Let's make one of them. Let's make one of them green. This is sap green. I'm going to try it straight, but we may come back and let's put this in green. Can't see that, so let's put a little yellow in it. I want a pretty green. I'm not sure I want it that bright. Let's put that on there and see how it looks, and then we'll come back and shadow it. I like that pretty good. Okay, now these are just a start. What we're going to do later on is we're going to add a lot of detail inside of them there, but not right now. Let's clean that out. Now let's make a blue one up here. I'm not sure. I'm going to grab a little bit of that. Now what I done really, I just grabbed a little the dark blue. And I'm just shadowing it a little bit on that side. Now while I've got that color out, I'm going to go ahead and probably need a smaller brush. Let me see if I do. Okay, I like that. Rinse that brush out. Now, a lot of these little colors are probably, I think sometimes they spray these colors on these flowers. I don't think all of them are totally natural colors. Let me grab a couple more brushes. I want to get something a little smaller, and I'll just drop a couple there. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, and a couple of these maybe. Okay, now I'm going to lay those over there out of the way. Okay, now on this particular one here, I'm going to go ahead and make a real pretty, let's see, I see a little thing I need to paint in there first because it will be in the background if I don't. Now, some of this stuff I have sketched on here. Some of it I don't. We'll just sort of make it up as we go, okay? Now I want a little lighter there, so I'll tell you what let me do. Let me grab a little red, put right here, and a little yellow. And see if that'll work out. This one is red, so we'll make it a little, need a little dark. Let me get a little of this dark brown, Van Dyke brown. I'm shadowing those. I need a little more in there. Okay, that's pretty good. Rinse him out. I want to put a little bit darker color right here. And I want a little highlight right on the edge. Now I don't want these smooth, and I'll show you what we'll do in a few minutes. That'll give you an idea though. It's going to be a little, I guess you'd call them seeds. I don't know, but I think that's what it would be. But I'll just do a little bit on this one to show you. But we'll do a lot more in a few minutes. Now I'm not sure about the size of this brush. Let me start out with this brush, okay? We may change it a little bit. Okay, clean my little palette knife off. Now I've got about 3 or 4 piles of white here. And what I want to do, I wanted an off-white. On the canvas you probably will not be able to tell it. But let's start with that color and see what happens now. Now you can use a big brush, a little brush. I'll just start with this, but I may change to a bigger brush because we've got some time restraints, and most of this stuff has to be finished. Now that looks white, doesn't it? It's almost white. By the way, the way I'm doing that now, I actually was pulling it out to the end and putting a little tip on it, like that. And the way you do that, it might have been a little fast, but these I'm pulling backwards, and you can do it either way. It's hard to tell where I'm at, isn't it? Let's just make one up here. Matter of fact, I'm going to start here. Whoa. And I'm not going all the way into that, and I'll show you in a minute exactly why. Now I was going to show you how to pull that little tail. I'm going to get just a little bit of thinner on that. Normally the way you pull that is, if you're going out with it, let me do a couple here now. I'll show you how you pull it. You just actually go out to the end, show you. Actually, I fill my brush up, but then I flatten it out so I'll have a sort of chisel. So you go out to the end like this, and as you come out, you just start picking your brush up. And it makes that little point on it. Oh man, I tell you. Now, here's where it's confusing in a way, because you either want to go behind that or in front of it. So, because when I put these in, they're either going to come over that or they'll be behind it. So let's make one and just see what happens. Now I can take that, like I said, and pull it all the way over there, but I think I want this one to come over the top of that one. Now that one probably could come out over here somewhere. Now I'm getting some blue in there, and I like that because I'm going to come back and shadow all of those. Then this one, I may make it a little different color. I'm not sure yet. And I may make some of them behind. I'm not sure. I think I need a couple more in here. Let's put one right here. Now the problem, if you don't thin your paint a little bit, you run out of paint, which is what I did right there. But if you do, you can thin it down a little bit. Come right back and flatten it out again. And you can go back and pull that same line if you want to. And I put a little curlicue. I'm going to go back and put some curlicues on the other, and I sort of like that. Let's put one more in there. Now you can come in here if you want to and curlicue them like that. Okay, I like that so far. Let's go back now and, oops, I don't have a lot of time, but let's just start anyhow. Now I've got some beautiful blue color here, so I'm going to start with it. And all of this will pull right into the white. And got about a half a minute. I'm going to make it real dark right in here, see. All right, let me do just a couple more if I can. Okay, tell you what, let's do. Let's wait till next week and put some more color on it, okay? Hey, I enjoyed being with you today so much. Hope you've enjoyed the show. If you want to get a copy of something, why, holler at us. We'd appreciate it. We'll see you next week. Goodbye and God bless. Hey everybody, so glad you joined us today. We're doing a little fun painting today. It's a little different from a lot of the stuff that we do. But we used to paint for some galleries, and they liked the old Dutch type paintings and dried flowers and ships and stuff like that. So we're doing a little dried flower painting today. Come over to the board and I'll explain to you what we've done. We've sort of re-sketched it a little bit. We had it sketched, but when we put the oil on it, we sort of lost most of the sketch. So we're sort of making it back up and just deciding as we go how to do it. Anyhow, we're working on this big flower right here. I'm shattering it right now, so let's go ahead and do a little more work around it there. I'm going to pull this right into there and then pull it out a little bit.